He walked into that hotel room, looked at the mother and said, "I'm sorry." She asked, "What did you do?" And he shoots her 3 times in front of the boyfriend.
8-year-old killed his fucking mother. You're a fucking weirdo. Just because you gay? Just because you're gay? You couldn't just come out and say you gay? Yo, and they said the nigga got 12 kids. Bro. That nigga's really, yo, let's like break it down. You really deep undercover to be gay and have 12 kids. All right, let's get into it. We reacted to father 12 kills mom, cousin, ex-girlfriend to hide the secret that he was gay. So, I just feel like if you're a Batman, be a Batman, you know?
3 women were killed in a triple shooting. This is over in Manatee County, not far from the Tampa-St. Petersburg area. And those killed include the mother and cousin of the man deputies believe pulled the trigger.
Hold on. So the nigga killed his mom and cousin? Oh, this nigga was hiding deep undercover. What the fuck? You had to kill your mom?
June 2024, an unspeakable tragedy shocked the quiet streets of Florida. A father of 12, 28-year-old Javante.
From that smile alone, I know he did it. I know he was gay those out.
T. Bryce went on a horrifying killing spree.
See, he doing too much, bro. What is this nigga? I'm a
that left his family and community shattered.
Millennials be throwing me off sometimes, man.
Just one night, 3 women lost their lives at the hands of a man they trusted and loved.
Yo, let's get into the video, man.
They 3 women are dead, and the man responsible is also dead.
Among the victims were his mother, 48-year-old Tidamisha Scott, his cousin, 29-year-old Sakuya Junkila Bryce, and his ex-girlfriend, 31-year-old Cheryl Carter. But as the investigation unfolded, the true motive behind
responsible is also dead.
Among the victims were his mother, 48-year-old
Tidamisha. His fucking
Tidamisha.
mother. You're a fucking weirdo. Just because you gay? Just because you're gay? You couldn't just come out and say you gay?
Scott, his cousin, 29-year-old Sakuya Junkila Bryce, and his ex-girlfriend, 31-year-old Cheryl Carter. But as the investigation unfolded, the true motive behind these gruesome killings left everyone speechless. It turned out that these women may have discovered Javante Bryce's deepest secret. He had been hiding relationships with men. This is the tragic and chilling story of how secrets, fear, and shame led to the brutal end of 3 innocent lives. What drives a man to commit such horrific acts against those closest to him? What led Javante Bryce down this deadly path? Let's break it all down.
Just because he's gay.
The killer himself, the one that is responsible for 3 homicides in Manatee County last night. His name is Javante Bryce. He is 28 years of age.
That bit of him is crazy.
To understand what drove Javante to this breaking point, we first need to dive into his background. On the surface, Bryce seemed like a typical father and family man.
They said the nigga got 12 kids. Bro. That nigga's really, let's like break it down. You really deep undercover to be gay and have 12 kids with a woman. Oh, he might be, I guess, bi? I don't know, but it's kind of crazy.
At just 28 years old, he already had 12 children. That's a lot.
How the fuck do you do that?
A lot of responsibility for someone so young, but it seemed like he was managing. To those who knew him, Bryce came across as a regular guy, a father who...
Yo, that's more than overcompensation, bro. This nigga was really not trying to get caught, bro. Like 12 is crazy,
was actively involved in his children's lives and a man who stayed close to his family. But like so many tragic stories, what was happening behind closed doors told a different tale. As we'll soon see, Bryce's life wasn't as stable as it appeared. With 12 kids, relationships were already complicated. His relationships with the mothers of his children, including ex-girlfriend Cheryl Carter, were reportedly strained. And then there was his cousin, Sakuya Bryce. Some rumors suggested that the two
Are they about to say what I think they about to say?
who may have had an inappropriate or even intimate relationship, although
He was fucking his cousin? Yo, how the story just keep getting worse?
Though nothing was ever confirmed.
That was why he kept posting weird poems on social media. This one talked about him mentally sick and also being gay. It reads, "You were mentally sick. I seen a lot of people say it was because they found out you were gay. That's your choice, but the extent you went shows it's more than that. Pure evilness."
But it wasn't just family drama that complicated Javante's life.
That nigga was
Behind the
fucking his
scenes,
cousin.
Bryce was grappling with his own identity, which, according to sources, he was desperate to keep hidden.
That's sick. Y'all little kids out there playing doctor. Stop playing doctor, you heard?
Javante Bryce was secretly gay and had been having relationships with men, something he feared would destroy the image of himself that he had built for his family and his community. In many communities, especially where there is a strong emphasis on traditional masculinity, being open about one's sexuality can feel like an impossible task. For Bryce, that struggle was compounded by the fact that he was a father and perceived as the man of the house. To understand the depth of this tragedy, we need to take a closer look at the victims.
Hold on, he killed them at a Motel 6? They was staying
These
at a
were not
Motel
random
6.
strangers. Each of these women had a deeply personal.
Yo, doctors a source of childhood trauma is crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie, them freaky ass kids playing doctor. I'm sorry I played doctor, but I didn't go deep into doctor. Like, doctor can get deep, you know. You know, you got the patient, you got the nurse. Doctor can get very deep, but I wasn't one of those, you know. We wasn't in.
Connection to Javante Bryce, making the crimes even more disturbing. First, there was his mother, Tidamisha Scott. At 48 years old,
Yeah,
she
he's
had
weird.
raised Bryce and played a crucial role in his life.
she had him
You would
young.
expect a son to protect his mother, but instead, Bryce took her
Yeah,
life.
the
Many
fuck is wrong
believe
with
that
that nigga?
Tidamisha may have discovered his secret, his relationships with
I feel like he been knew she was gay. And I remember kids doing weird shit in pre-K. Yo, freak ass kid. I ain't gonna lie, I was one of them freak ass kids in pre-K though. I can't lie about that one. Like, I got beat for getting caught behind a tree, but it's not even like that though. Hold on, y'all. Did you hear any of that? Too tempted to get higher. Nah, damn, that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. You heard any of that before we get back into this? Okay, good. Let's get into this. What was we just talking about with this nigga?
men. Perhaps this pushed him to the edge, fearing judgment from the very person who had brought him into the world.
Yeah, I was about to say, as a parent, bro, she knew the nigga was gay, bro. I feel like, shouldn't the parent know? I feel like as a parent, you should know what the fuck your kid is. You see the signs. She probably tried to ignore the
28-year-old
signs, but she
Javante Bryce
knew.
shot his mother, Tidamisha Scott, age 48.
he's fucking
He shot
sick.
his ex-girlfriend Cheryl Carter.
I just want to know, how was all three of them in the same spot, or did he kill one, go to the next crib, kill the next one, go to the third crib? That nigga is going under the fucking
Age
jail.
31, and later
Yo.
shot and killed his blood cousin Sequoia Jonkila Bryce,
And
age
his blood cousin that he was fucking is crazy.
29, which some
Fucking is crazy.
people think he was having an affair with.
Then there
And
was
he
his
called her
ex-girl.
bae.
Age 29, which some people
Yeah, he was really fucking his cousin. Oh wow.
think he was having an affair with.
Then there was his ex-girlfriend, Cheryl Carter, age 31. Bryce and Cheryl had a
look young as
complicated
shit.
relationship.
I
She
love,
was
like,
the-
I love you, babe. Like, what? Your cousin? I ain't never called my cousin bae, so I don't know if I'm missing out on something. But I ain't never did no shit like that. Like, this nigga is calling his cousin. Yo, he fucking
Mother
his
of some
cousin.
of his
So
children.
that means one of his kids might be his cousin. Yo, his sister, cousin, brother, cousin kids. Nephew, niece, whatever the fuck.
Making their connection even deeper.
Those is his
It's believed that
kids.
Cheryl too might have known about Bryce's hidden life. Perhaps she was a threat to his carefully constructed image of a heterosexual father of
I was
12.
talking about
The
that
thought
like
of her
that.
exposing his
Nah.
truth could have made Bryce feel trapped, leading to her tragic end. Finally, there was his cousin, Sequoia Jonkila Bryce, just 29 years old. Now,
Didn't they just say finally twice and brought up the same people twice? Alright, whatever,
This
bro.
part of the story is even more unsettling. There are rumors that Bryce and Sakuya were involved in a secret relationship,
He was fucking his cousin next. We know that already.
making this even more twisted. Whether that's true or not, it's clear that she knew too much, and in his mind, she had to be silenced. What's truly heartbreaking is how close Bryce was to all three victims. These were the people who should have been his support system, his family, his loved ones. Instead, they became
Is
his
that nigga
targets in a
in
desperate
jail, or
attempt
did
to
he kill
protect his
himself?
secret.
So we believe initially that this all started sometime before 9 o'clock when Mr. Bryce traveled to the Palmetto Trace apartments in Palmetto, in the city of Palmetto. Inside one of those apartments was his sister and a mother of one of the many children that Mr. Bryce has. When he walked into the apartment, he looked at the ex-girlfriend and said, "I have to kill you."
The events
How the fuck they know that? How the fuck they... It's video? Like, they got... How the fuck they know he walked into the house and said, "I have to kill you"? When I... yeah, they... Bro,
He looked
everybody
at
knew
the
he was gay, bro.
Ex-girlfriend.
I don't know why he thought nobody knew he was gay and he wanted to keep it a secret that he was gay, bro. Just be gay. Like, nobody cares that you're gay.
And
You
said,
killed
"I
your
have
moms.
to kill you."
The events leading
you
up to
gay?
June 2024
'Cause you
are still
gay.
under investigation, but some pieces of the puzzle have started to come
Shit don't make no
together.
sense.
At some point, it appears that the women in Bryce's life, his mother, cousin, and ex-girlfriend, started to suspect his secret. They may have even confronted him about it. For Bryce, this was his worst nightmare. The idea of his family finding out about his sexuality terrified him to the core.
that everybody
It's
really
hard to
know he
say
gay,
exactly
though,
when Bryce
after,
snapped, but the
like, what the
pressure of
fuck?
living a double life was clearly getting to him. Reports suggest that Bryce had been acting increasingly erratic in the days leading up to the murders. Friends and family noted
yeah,
that
he
he was
was
more withdrawn,
premeditating that
spending
shit.
less time with his children and appearing more agitated than usual. It's believed that Bryce felt trapped, fearing judgment from his family, his community, and even his children
Now, you
if
really
his
got a
secret
point,
ever
nigga.
came out.
The
So when the
fuck? The secret's gonna
possibility of
come out after you
exposure
killed him?
loomed closer, Bryce's fear and paranoia spiraled out of control. Instead of confronting his truth, he made the unthinkable decision to silence those who he believed could reveal his secret.
He was acting very strange,
no cap.
not really sure what was going on with him. At 9:17 p.m., that we know that he traveled to the Motel 6 in East Bradenton. Inside one of those
At what
rooms.
p.m.?
At 9:17 p.m. that we know.
Hold on. He got to the girlfriend crib at 9. Got to the Motel 6 at 9. So he walked in, shot her in front of his
That
kids.
he traveled to the Motel 6
What the fuck?
in East Bradenton. Inside one of those rooms was his mother, his mother's boyfriend, and 2 young juvenile sisters. He walked into that hotel room, looked at the mother and said, "I'm sorry." She asked, "What did you do?" And he shoots her 3 times in front of the boyfriend and these 2 innocent young juveniles.
The night of June
What the fuck? I still don't know how. Oh, wait. The people alive, Michaela, the people alive is how they know this. We add. Okay, so he really only went to those places and killed the people he was intended on killing, which made no fucking sense. Like, yo, what is. Yo, like, something's really wrong with that nigga. Like, how did he think he. What the fuck did he think was gonna happen? Did he think he was gonna kill him and just everything vanish? So he, in front of his kids and in front of his sisters, and the nigga walked in the mother house, shot in front of her boyfriend and his sisters. Walked to his, what was that, his ex-girlfriend, shot in front of his kids.
June 18th,
So you telling me he still got another crib to go to? He got to go to his cousin's girlfriend.
Unimaginable
And that's not his cousin's girlfriend, his cousin/girlfriend. This nigga's a freak. 69 God.
violence. Bryce first went to his mother's home, where he shot and killed 48-year-old Tidamisha Scott. His mother was reportedly one of the closest people in his life, and yet she became the first victim in his killing spree. What could drive someone to kill their own mother? It's believed that Bryce thought his mother had discovered his secret and that she might expose him. But the carnage didn't stop there. Bryce then made his way to his cousin's home, where he shot and killed 29-year-old Sakuya Jonkala Bryce. As we mentioned earlier, there were rumors that Bryce and his cousin might have been involved in an inappropriate relationship. If this was true, it may have added another layer to Bryce's fear and shame. Whether Sakuya knew about Bryce's secret or not, he believed she was a threat, and he silenced her in cold blood.
There, deputies found another woman. She was 29, shot inside of an SUV. Deputies attempted life-saving measures there, but she died an hour later, around 10:50.
Finally, Bryce headed to the home of his ex-girlfriend.
How much people he killed? Yo, Michaela, we gotta think about this. They said 3. They just gave us 3 killings already and said now he going to his ex-girlfriend. How much people did this nigga go killing one night? This shit not making no sense.
31-year-old Cheryl Carter. Carter was the mother of some of Bryce's children and had been a significant part of his life, but that didn't stop him from taking her life as well. Bryce shot Carter multiple times, ensuring that she would never have the chance to reveal his secret. Within a span of just a few hours, Bryce had taken the lives of 3 women who were deeply connected to him.
That's what I'm saying. They say he killed her first.
Hard to imagine the level of fear and
I think this YouTube page is
desperation that must have driven him to commit these horrific acts. But as the night came to a close, Bryce's world had completely unraveled. In the hours following the killings, police were quickly able to piece together the connections between the victims. All 3 women were close to Bryce, and it didn't take long for authorities to identify him as the prime suspect. A statewide manhunt was launched, and within 48 hours, Javonte Bryce was apprehended without incident. When news of Bryce's arrest broke, the community was in shock. How could a man who seemed so devoted to his family suddenly turn into a cold-blooded killer? As more details about his secret life began to emerge, the pieces started to fall into place. Investigators learned that Bryce...
So he was gay, free, living his life, nobody cares. Now he's gay in jail. He's around more niggas, you know. He might be happy, because that's fucking sick. Killed his like he could have just went to jail to go. He could have just went and robbed the store if he wanted to be around straight niggas. Like, how the first thing his mom knew, bro. He knew he did some dumb shit, but that shit, like, he went from being free to live his life being gay to now he in jail being gay. Yeah, she knew something was wrong with that nigga.
For years,
look at this nigga.
Engaging in...
So look. So he always took videos with the niggas like they his homie, and he was on some Diddy shit with he was on some Diddy oil.
Relationships with men while trying to maintain his image as a father and family man.
Oh, that's a lot of niggas.
Yeah, it was a handgun. We don't know where he got it. It was a revolver.
I don't know where he got it.
But why had he gone to such extremes? According to psychologists, Bryce likely felt that his entire identity was at risk of being shattered. His fear of judgment, both from his family and society at large, was so overwhelming that he believed killing those who knew his secret was the only way to protect himself. At the heart,
bro, you can tell he's chook. Look at him. What is Buddy doing?
That he believed killing those who knew his secret was the only...
What is Buddy doing?
...way to protect himself. At the heart of this tragic story lies a deeper issue, Javonte Bryce's hidden sexuality and how it led to such catastrophic decisions. Living in secrecy, Bryce likely felt immense pressure to uphold an image of masculinity that didn't align with his true self. In a world where LGBTQ+ individuals often face judgment and discrimination, Bryce's internal struggle seemed to manifest in deadly ways. Being a father of 12, Bryce might have believed he had even more to lose if his secret were exposed. The societal expectations placed on him as a father and a man in his community likely fueled his sense of shame. The fear of being outed, especially in a world that can be harsh to those who don't fit traditional molds, led Bryce down a dark and destructive path. This tragic story highlights the devastating impact that shame and secrecy can have on a person's mental state. In many communities, being open about one's sexuality is still met with prejudice and judgment. For someone like Bryce, who was already juggling the responsibilities of being a father to 12 children, the pressure to conform to traditional gender roles was immense.
He killed all this people within a time frame of 2 hours. He was said to have done this for either of 3 reasons. He was exposed to be a down low man. He was caught sleeping with his blood cousin, and maybe because of his mental state.
Oh, you didn't tell me all that. Ooh. I got 5 on it, yeah.
Living with such a heavy secret can take a toll on anyone's mental health. Bryce may have felt like he had no other choice but to keep his sexuality hidden, but in doing so, he trapped himself in a prison of fear and self-loathing. When his family began to suspect the truth, Bryce's fear of being exposed turned into paranoia, and ultimately, into violence.
A lot of people said he was sleeping with his cousin, who later discovered him to be gay.
This nigga had mad niggas. What the fuck? Yo, this nigga had mad niggas. Yo, no, they really are repeating themselves with posting new videos. I think they trying to keep the minutes up. But this nigga had bare niggas.
It was why he referred to her as Bae in the social media post.
It's important to
Niggas got the
recognize how
same
society's
fucking
stigmas
last name.
around sexuality can push people to dangerous extremes. If Bryce had felt accepted and
Freak-ass nigga.
supported, would this tragedy have been avoided? Perhaps. But as it stands, his inability to confront his truth in a healthy way led to the destruction of his family and, ultimately, his own life. The aftermath of this tragedy left the community in mourning and disbelief. Tidamisha Scott, Sequoia Bryce, and Cheryl Carter were beloved by their families, and their sudden, violent deaths left a deep wound that will likely never fully heal. The children, Bryce's 12 kids, are now left without a mother, a grandmother, and a father. They will have to grow up knowing that their father was responsible for taking away the very people who cared for them. It's a heartbreaking reality that will affect these children for the rest of their lives. As for the community, the shockwaves from this tragedy are still being felt. In a place where family